Alright, so just walked through the fort, and yes, it's amazing. Too bad, unfortunately, I'm not going to wait an hour to go into the fort, but was able to just walk around the fort and see most of the stuff that I kind of wanted to see already. And now we're going to walk along the banks of the trench. This was one of the trenches that they used back in the Spanish American War when the Spanish invaded St. Augustine in 1565. Let's see how deep this trench is. And this is a highly Spaniard popularity, Latino, because it is of course, this is Spanish invaded St. Augustine in 1565. Then we're going to head over to, we're going to try to go find the lighthouse. But first we're going to walk across the street here to the old cemetery. Good night. Thinking I've headed in it. Not a problem. I like this. See all behind me. Alright, see you in the car. Easy enough. Alright, I'm gonna walk across here. Let's walk across the street. And then walk over here anyway. This is where I just was a minute ago. We're gonna walk across here. And that's the car there. We keep off historic structures. We have found the old gate of the original entrance to St. Augustine. And it says this gate opened in 1739. The only access through the defense line on the north side of the Spanish St. Augustine. Royal engineer Manuel de Heda built this pillars in 1808. The original gate right here to St. Augustine. This way, and then we'll walk back that way through the hub and downtown. We're gonna walk this way. Yes, safe haven. Surrounding the town, open for trade during the day, but locked up at night. City Gate is the entrance to early 1800s civilization here in St. Augustine. Spaniards on the frontier feel safe. The Spanish built this gate when they reconstructed the city's northern wall, the Castillo line, in 1808, more than 100 years after the Castillo was completed, having wrestled possession back from the British. The Spanish fortified the town to keep the Americans out. The gate was a critical part of the improvements to the city's fortified defense. Look on both sides of the gate to see restored sections of the wall that once surrounded St. Augustine. It was a safe haven, or, as in Spanish, it was refugio seguro. That means safe haven in Spanish. So, right here, the old cemetery. Now, the old cemetery, we'll read about it up here in a moment. It says, little plaque on the wall here. Said before Florida became a U.S. territory in 1821, its land was owned by Spain. Thought of a yellow fever in 1820 epidemic. 1821, the city fathers realized no place existed to bury non-Catholics. In July 1884, the city passed an ordinance forbidding any further burials in both Tolomedo Cemetery and the Huguenot Cemetery. Today, the Huguenot Cemetery, administered by volunteers of Friends of the Huguenot Cemetery Incorporated, nonprofit tax-exempt corporation since 1993. It continued to be restored and refurbished. This is the Huguenot Cemetery. We can't go in. We can't go in it, can we? Nope, it's locked. This is the Huguenot Cemetery, where non-Catholics were buried. Back in this time period, the non-Catholics or Protestants, Christians, were buried here. For some reason, because they weren't a Catholic place. But during the yellow fever epidemic of 1821, this half-acre plot was set aside as public cemetery. Many Protestant pioneers to the new Florida territory are buried here. Often such burials made at public expense went unmarked. The Presbyterian Church has owned and maintained cemetery since 1832. Interments were discontinued in 1884. So now it's owned by the Presbyterian Church, and I believe we have reached the summit of St. Augustine as we have come to the visitor center.